all the way from Singapore, Volve.
Hello, and thank you to startAD to give me this opportunity to present here today. Volve, we're a Singapore-based bootstrapped startup, and we're set out to build a financial management infrastructure for Web3. That means cryptocurrencies. We look at traditional finance management, we have a pain and a gain. The pain is that most of the companies have very weak controls over the outgoing payments. The potential gain that we're trying to give to companies is increased efficiency. Does it matter? Is that a big enough of a problem? We believe yes. So based on an SAP study, when we analyzed the GCC market, and we looked at potentially that's 0.06% of the GDP loss due to poor expense management only. And that was just talking about fiat currencies. We haven't even added the chaos created by cryptocurrency and stablecoins yet. Because then the picture is a very different one from a very well-organized finance department. And unfortunately, I talk from own experience. You start having silos again, you start having spread marks, you copy-paste, sleepless nights for your tax reporting. All of that, what you think you might have solved in the past, is coming back at you. Who feels the pain? There are really two groups of companies that we target with our solution. One is the crypto natives. Everybody thinks of DAOs as these little NFT projects, a handful of entrepreneurs coming together and having a couple $1,000s on the bank account. In reality, in average, they manage about 2.6 million. Now, as an investor, you want to have the confidence that they have good financial controls. But traditional companies are more and more looking into these issues as well. Deloitte says within the next 2 years, 75% of traditional retailers want to start accepting crypto. That means they have to manage it somehow. And that's where we're coming in. So we're building a full control suite for your fiat and your cryptocurrencies. The fiat exists already. We have launched our pilot in Singapore. We're now in the process at this very moment integrating cryptocurrencies in that as well. What that essentially means is you have one control center, where you have your operational accounts under Volve, and you have real-time access to it. We do pre-accounting, which essentially means enrich transaction with data. We take care of the tax reporting. We got all the exchange rates on the click of a button. And your compliance is embedded in the solution as well. That means all your internal controls can be implemented through Volve. We don't do this only on a SaaS solution, a web browser. We have a mobile app to do all of that. And in the end, it all comes down to we want to make crypto as accessible as the management of fiat currencies. So we want to really help make crypto go mainstream also on a corporate scale. So far, we're still quite young. We have launched in Singapore 2021, connected to Visa through our processor GPS. We have a DBS account in the background, which we integrate through Railsbank. 2022, we signed our MOU with a regulated crypto exchange and custodian based in Europe, and we're now integrating the custodian crypto wallets as well. And in the next step, we want to not just scale the product and markets, but also work on a full automation of these processes to make the pain even less. Are there any questions? I'm more than happy to answer them now.
All right, guys, questions? And we'll start with now.
I had a quick question. I know you mentioned DAOs on your presentation. How is that connected to their partnership with Visa? My understanding is like with DAOs, you're really concentrating on the small communities out there and helping them manage money. But how's that? I'm trying to understand how that connects with signing partnerships. What was that?
Sorry, the last part again?
I'm trying to understand how you're bridging the DAOs, which are really for like small communities and really decentralized, to the partnerships that you sign, for instance, with Visa. Can you kind of process?
Yeah. So we built some trust with Visa that we can manage crypto and Web3 first companies. 1 year ago, they would have looked differently. Banks and card networks were not the most keen to work with crypto companies. We prove that we can do the AML, we can do a proper onboarding, we can do the sanctions and the PAP screening. So we've built a trust that we can onboard crypto companies as well, be it small or medium-sized companies.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Very interesting project. Just quick question. How you guys are doing in terms of regulation? I mean, when we talk about very sensitive services and like how you guys are immune towards like SEC and like those guys?
How we structure our product and our setup is that we are a tech company only, so we integrate with regulated businesses. So Volve itself is not a regulated entity. From a Visa point of view, we are a program manager. From a banking point of view, we are a tech provider. We have certain responsibility on IT security and compliance, but none that falls under financial regulations. So we don't touch the funds.
Just a quick question from Tama over here on the business model that he's messaged in on the phones. Do you have a consumption component to your SaaS charge, and do you also have a variable cost on all of the data linking, or is it all high margin software type SaaS revenue?
Good question. Is a mixture. It's a SaaS model. Yes, we ask for a subscription fee, and we see people are willing to pay for it. And it's also transaction based, which obviously in the crypto space is more interesting than in the fiat only space.
Cool. Any more questions? No. Thank you so much, Volve. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Volve.
Thank you very much.